Hey, what's up guys, Totallydubbed here, and today I'm doing a video review on the Soul Electronics X-Shock. Now these are small little earphones that are really designed for people who like fitness. Now I'm sorry for the black background and the black earphones, but nevertheless, let's go through it. Now the earphones can be found for around £100 on Amazon.co.uk and around $150 on Amazon USA. Links will be down in the description below, including the specs to the website to Soul Electronics. Now within the box you've got a carbiner, you've got a nice soft little pouch over here which is useful for carrying around the earphones. You've got extra set of tips which are very small ones. You've got a micro USB to USB cable which is used for charging, and then you've got this slightly heavy little power bank-esque charging case. So this is used to charge up the earphones. So the earphones have got a little proprietary connector over here, and they basically slot in and then start charging. Now you will need this this little device over here in order to charge the earphones up, because the earphones don't have any sort of charging ports on them, which is understandable, and given the technology and the way that most of these portable earphones work, you're going to need one of these. Now this provides power as like a power bank to your phone, but also can be charged via micro USB and via the provided cable. Now the little case over here is actually quite nice. It fits well into your hand like so, and in all honesty I quite like its design. It's something simple to note, but even its sort of like ribbed top, or should I say material, means that it doesn't attract fingerprints and has a bit of grip. It's a small thing again to note, but it does all add to the experience. Now the earphones themselves have a right and left side indicator, which is found within the earbud over here. The earphones have a very odd look to them, and that's because the earphones don't really have a hook or anything like that that makes them stick in your ears. Essentially it fits into your ears, and due to the friction, or should I say within your ear canal, it stays in. At least that's the idea, and I'll get into that in just a bit. The earphones have a small little LED light which is found on the sides. Now the black version, the one I've got over here, essentially it's just used for indicating if it's connected or not. However, there's like a special edition, white edition, a transparent version, and that is transparent around the sides, which allows runners to put them on and have LED lights. Now, I previously reviewed Soul Electronic headphones, which were made for runners, and I was very impressed by the LED lights. It's actually kind of like a standout feature, something you don't really notice on other headphones or earphones out there. So these had a sort of similar potential, but the black versions do not have that feature, so just bear that in mind. Now, both earbuds have a button which can be pressed, and that will play, pause, activate Google Assistant and whatnot, and also if you double press it, it will skip. Now in terms of the earphones themselves, the fit, I had no problems fitting them within my ears. However, I do feel that if someone has a smaller ear canal or a small ear, they will struggle to fit these earphones in. They're relatively big. I don't really know how to compare it, but if this is the OnePlus 5T, you can see the size of the earphones like so. Now, in terms of their connectivity and their battery life, fantastic. Now the connectivity was very easy, it's over Bluetooth. It doesn't have aptX codec unfortunately, but in terms of battery life, they last around 3 hours per charge, but then this little power bank over here provides up to 60 hours, up to 54 hours of charge, which means that you can essentially go around for around 60 odd hours with just this combination without needing a wall charger. So it is very good in terms of that. And also, its most impressive trait for me is the fact they're waterproof. Now most earphones that are fitness related or whatnot are not waterproof, or they're at least like splash resistant, like IPX4. However, this is waterproof. It can be submerged up to for 30 minutes. I think it's around to a depth of 1 meter. And that means that they will survive you dropping them in a pool, or let's say having an intense workout where you're sweating a lot, or if you're running through the rain. So it's good to have that feature, and I must say, in comparison to the rest of the competitors, or the competition shall I say, no other earphone offers that. Now in terms of their fit and comfort, as I said, the small ear canals will be a slight problem, but also just because of their design, it means they don't really hook on properly. So in order for most earphones to get a good sound, you need a good seal, and that's probably the most important thing for every sort of earphone in the world. In this case, I felt that I got a good seal when I pressed them in. However, if I started jogging or like moving my head left and right, or like let's say playing some freestyle football in the park, I noticed that the seal would come undone a little bit, meaning that I wouldn't get that same bass response, and therefore mean that they would be a little bit looser within the ear. It didn't mean it was uncomfortable, but unfortunately it does affect the sound quality, which therefore affects the comfort, and all in all, it's a bit of a cycle, I should say a negative cycle, and it would have been very good if these had like a little, like a clip which went around them and went around your ears. Given the fact that they are made to go within your ear canals and sit kind of flush, even though they're not quite flush given their size, I would have said I would have liked something to keep them in place a little bit better for more intense workouts. Now, in terms of the comfort of them, I did feel that the ear tips were a little bit sharp. It's a small thing to note, but because they're so thin, they kind of do rub against your ear canals, and I can even feel it on my finger over here. It's basically what it does on the ear canal. It does feel a little bit uncomfortable, so therefore if you're going to be wearing them for a couple of hours in a row, as in you wear them a couple of hours, charge them, wear them for a couple of hours again, I do feel you'll have a little bit of discomfort within your ear canal. So not the most comfortable earphones I've worn, but they're okay. Let's put it that way. Now, in terms of sound quality, it's got interesting sound. When I say interesting sound, it's not like your average Joe earphone, which has a very V-shaped sound signature with over-bloated bass and boosted up treble and recessed mids. If anything, it had like a flat type sound signature, so it might sound boring to some, but in terms of accuracy, as far as accuracy goes, I feel these were actually quite good. The mid-range was decent. It could have been a little bit more forward sounding. The highs do extend but do roll off slightly at the top end, and the bass has a nice pronounced slam and very precise, but it doesn't really extend into the sub bass. So I don't know how to put this on a frequency graph. If I had to explain it, I'd say it's pretty flat line, but it kind of like rolls off like a mini sort of a bump or speed bump on the road. It's kind of like a flat, but then like curves off on either side, basically like this. So that's how I would explain the sound signature. The sound stage itself, given the fact that their housing is not that big but bigger than some other earphones, you've got a nice sort of sound stage with nice wide and deep sound stage, and good instrument separation means that music doesn't sound congested. So overall, in terms of sound quality goes, I didn't have any problems with that, and I'll say they're decent, not among the best, say up to £200 to £300 earphones, but for £98, well £100, I do feel they do a decent job given their purpose. I did previously review the Sol XT as well, the XS, sorry, and I feel that these have a slightly better sound just because of their housing, but other than that, the sound signature is very similar. So overall, I think these earphones are relatively good, but they're not something to shout about or something to get overly excited about. They're a good alternative to other products out there in the market. It's not something I would go out and definitely buy and definitely recommend, but it's something that is a good alternative. If you're looking for something around £100, I don't think you're going to find something that has all the same capabilities as these earphones. I should, however, mention that its recording quality, so when you're answering calls, wasn't amazing. It could be a lot better, and I think that's because of its waterproof casing. It's only a small little mic input there, and as that sits flush into your ears, it's not got the best mic recording, but that is again to be expected from earphones of this nature. Other earphones, which are a lot more expensive, do a lot better job, but in all honesty, I wouldn't worry too much about that feature. So overall, can I recommend them? I would say I can't say myself I would actively recommend them, but I would say that if you want something that's cheaper than some of the alternatives that you can find out there, and obviously given its flaws or its drawbacks, it is a decent product. They've done a good job over here, and I must say that Sol again have impressed but not blown my mind. So there we go, guys. That's been Totally Dubbed. Hopefully you've enjoyed this review. Make sure you give it a like, comment, subscribe, as it always helps, and favorite and share in this video, as it always helps the channel grow. Alright guys, I've been Totally Dubbed. Take care and bye bye.